Alright, what do we got going on in the tropics? Let's keep this 10 minutes or less, short, sweet, to the point. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. This is Invest 90L, the one right off the coast of Africa that's predicted to be a major hurricane way out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. This is the one that the European model has been forming for a couple weeks now. So this really ain't a surprise, but somewhere right in here is a low level of circulation. This thing is gonna get ramped up pretty quick, and it's gonna turn into quite the looker, as they say, out there in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And this will be the first true Cape Verde hurricane that the farthest east one has developed all year. A classic Cape Verde storm. But like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because I just wanted to make you aware of it. If you hear the name, it's probably going to be a Lorenzo next. That if you hear that name, it's not really projected to be a threat. Models have kept this one as a fish storm for quite some time. So if I actually go to the European model, you can see. I'll rewind it back here. This is Invest 90L rolling off the coast of Africa, right down here, and you'll watch it as I put the map in motion. You'll see it kind of develop it. If I can get my highlighter back off the screen here, and there it is rolling along. 998, 986, 958, and then you just kind of watch it start going northwest. And then it hooks on out to sea. So that's been very consistent. The model's doing that with that storm. It's been predicting that for quite some time. So at this point, it doesn't look like this is going to be a threat at all. So we'll move on from that. And let's talk about Karen. So not really impressive right now, Karen. I'm surprised National Hurricane Center even classified this a tropical storm at this point, because right now it's very disorganized. All the convection, the center is like actually somewhere right around in here, and you can see all the cold cloud tops are south of the center, just north of South America. So there's a lot of shear, and if you see these, if you look over here, there's the clouds are kind of racing in out of the northeast, which is a good indication of there's a lot of shear going on in the upper atmosphere and keeping this thing from really ramping up right now. So but regardless, the European model has this thing developing into a tropical storm, and as it does, it has it moving northwesterly towards Puerto Rico over time. So that's why they're watching it. So if I show you the forecast models, I'll show you the European model first, because that's the one since the European model has always been or one of the favorite models, that it's always been a lot more accurate than some of the other models, especially more accurate than the American model. That's why a lot of people always pay a lot of attention to the European model. So you can see it right here, 1008. It comes up over Puerto Rico there. Let me just move the map up a little bit so you can see the dates right up at the top up here. And then it comes across Puerto Rico, heads north, a little east, pops a little more north, well east of the Bahamas, and then it just takes a bend to the west. And why does it do that? Why is the model saying it's doing that? Well, there's a big, and you can see it is actually double high here. Very strong high builds in. This is what will eventually lead to another round of warm temperatures for the to start off fall in the rest of the United States. But it acts as a wall, and this thing can't go north anymore. So now it's forcing it to head west. So that's why they're watching it. But right here, 1,000 millibar is basically showing a tropical storm. A formidable high-end tropical storm. And it comes and it brings it towards the southeast coast of Florida, and then right across and up into the Gulf and to Louisiana. And that's just one solution, not the only solution. For instance, the American model does something completely different with it. if I put the American model in motion here, it's a little harder to use this one because there's a couple errors that pop on the screen. So let me back this up. It's on October 2nd right now. Let's bring it to today's date. And I'll show you what the American model does with it. So here it is, right down here. If I can highlight it for you, near the Caribbean islands. Take that highlight off. You'll watch it now as it this little error that always pops up on the American model screen. So put this map in motion. You'll see it pretty much does the same, takes the same track as the European model, brings it across Puerto Rico, kind of fizzles it a little bit. You can see it just kind of a little darker blue spot there as just a rainmaker, and then it pretty much, you know, sort of does the same thing. It makes its way west, picks up on the high pressure building in as well, like the European, but just as a rainmaker, takes it across Cuba there somewhere. You can barely see it because it's not really developing into anything, and then all of a sudden it must get somewhere near Central America, and I'll show you here with the highlighter again. Here it is. This is probably the residue of what's left of Karen if it follows according to the American model, and then you'll watch it as I put this in motion. It kind of fizzles out a little bit, and then it reemerges gets up here close to Cuba, crosses Cuba, and it actually turns into a minimal hurricane just south of the Keys, and then it kind of clips the southeast coast of Florida, and then it heads out northeast. So regardless of the model, both models is bringing some kind of action somewhere near Florida. It's very early to really make a statement as far as how strong it's going to be or where it's going to be. And these models are going to change over the next couple of days anyway. But yeah, it's something to watch. I mentioned the other day that I think that the threat from the Atlantic is over with, but I guess I opened my mouth too early. So now we're still watching because of that high pressure building in, that for the possibility of something making it and turning towards the U.S. coast. So we'll keep an eye on it. Things are definitely going to change over the next couple of days, like it always does. Thanks for watching. We'll try doing another video for you next couple of days.